All right, now we'll have the call to order. Today is Wednesday, April 17th, 2024. We're in the City Hall Council Chambers for the monthly meeting of the Historic Preservation Committee. I've noted to the clerk, anybody monitoring this meeting later in the day, week, year, whatever, that member Elizabeth McCrank has an excused absence this evening. She is attending another governmental meeting. First item on the agenda is consider minutes from the previous meeting. This will be the minutes from February 21st.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second to approve the minutes from February 21st. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The minutes are approved. Under general agenda items for consideration, historic street name applications for 2024. And we have 7 of them. Well, technically 7.5. You saw them in your packet?
Yep, what's the half?
Well, the one is for Edward and Diane Chartier, so it's like a double application.
Okay.
Of the 7 applicants, Edward and Diane Chartier do not meet the minimum requirements. They've not been deceased for 5 years or more. So I spoke to the mayor, and I can write something up for the clerk or the mayor to send back to the person who submitted, it's a very wonderful application, very fitting, but we have to wait a couple more years to consider it because we have our rules in place. There is exception to that 5-year rules if someone dies while in service to the country or the city of Merrill, and obviously that is not how they left this world. Otherwise, I believe everybody else fits the criteria.
Would you care to read the names for the record?
Sure. For the record, the first one is Ralph Feda Vogt, who was our mayor for the city of Merrill for approximately 20 years. And he definitely left his mark on the city in more ways than one for many, many years. The second application is for Robert Grueling, who I did check. He passed away in 2017. Robert Grueling loved the people of Merrill, and to be Robert Grueling has been an asset to Merrill in many ways. As an educator, being a teacher at Franklin School and principal of Lincoln and Washington schools. While teaching early years, he became a camp counselor at School Forest, which is where he created the Boom Becker legacy that still exists today. Many students always look forward to going to the School Forest to hear those chains rattle, me included. He was a well-loved educator and left a lasting legacy in everyone he touched. There are several references in there from this, the one-room schoolhouse down at the fairgrounds. He put together the history of the water level marker that still sits in the Riverbank, Wisconsin River today. Take this trail on the Riverbend Trail, you'll see the collage of history and pictures of Bob that Bob created so you can read about the history of the marker. He's also very instrumental in getting the Riverbend Trail started and loved every minute of it. He's involved in many instrumental projects for Maryland. He's been very involved in St. Stephen's UCC. He loved the people and community so much, it would be a great way to remember him. The only thing Tammy did not do when we can make contact with her is where she envisions that sign going. And reading through that application, I could see several places. Clerk Malm is the one who submitted Ralph Feda Vogt. Do you have any ideas where that sign would go?
He grew up on Genesee Street.
Okay.
And I don't know the exact house number, but I know which house it is.
That would be hard to find in between that and the directories.
Yeah.
And he had his insurance office on Second
Street, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we can work with the submitter on that. Bob Klug was a former city clerk. Prior to becoming clerk, he served as an alderperson. Very active in local youth sports. He graduated from the high school in 1920. Wow, over 100 years ago. Was it a lavish ceremony that night, Steve? Or?
I don't quite remember it, I'm sorry. Are we talking to the mayor?
Acting Lake County Baseball for more than 20 years, president, coach, manager of the Merrill Giants, former president, team manager of Merrill Little League, and coach sports St. John's Lutheran Church for a decade. He was very active with the March of Dimes chairman many years. Always saw his picture in the paper for that. I will go back to the requester, Becky Meyer, on that one, if so approved. And I have a couple of ideas for that sign. One being right in front of the house at Van Renzer Street. Crystal English, if you're watching, listening, I am darn proud you put Bud in here. We brought him up again last night. Bud English was an alderman for the city of Merrill.
25 years.
25 years. Of course, also very well known for being the head cashier at Lake County Bank for 42 years. Silver M, baseball, you name it.
VFW member.
Mm-hmm.
One thing interesting about Bud is he worked at J.C. Penney at the time they had the explosion. Luckily, he took a day of vacation that day when the building blew up and saved his life.
Next, we have Chuck Summers. I'm just going back and forth between downloading and loading here. Known as voice of the Merrill Rangers, the broadcast booth at Lake Park is dedicated to him. Cover many high school sports. And the daughter of Chuck is a nominator, and she thought that maybe one of the streets leading to Athletic Park would be an ideal place for a street sign to honor him.
Where is it?
By Athletic Park, which I certainly don't disagree with that. I'm going to look at that Chartier one again. Well, I did look up their obits. And they have 2020 as a death. And then last but not least is the James Sievert one. The only question I had about James Sievert is most of the items that he's talked about was in the town of Merrill. So I guess I could follow up with Ashley Knox to see what her thoughts were.
Wasn't he also head, though, of Western Bank?
Citizens, Lincoln County.
That was Bruce.
Oh, that was Bruce?
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know any history on him.
I would like to, maybe we could follow up with her to get more information, maybe look at that in another meeting.
It looks as if he did, benefit the city with funds from such a stand, south of the country. I don't know if that counts from that. but-
Yeah, my question, for criteria, I know last year we attempted to limit the candidates per year, and then we voted on them, but what is the criteria for having an approved street name?
That their life or perhaps their untimely passing left an indelible mark on the city of Merrill.
Okay.
And I think that every one of these people that are on here fit that criteria. Again, we just have to hold off on the Edward and Diane Chartier one, and maybe I don't see an issue approving the other 6, but we just need to get more we could probably go ahead and approve 5 of them tonight and just get more background on James Sievert to do maybe 6 for the year.
I would tend to agree with that.
Would you like to make a motion to approve the first 5 nominees, that being Robert Grueling, Robert Klug, Roger Butta English, Chuck Summers.
I would. And especially my late uncle Butta,
Oh, now
Butta
you
the
got a,
Great,
boy.
from the West Side English.
now you got a conflict in here. You got to have to get a state.
Oh, do I have to abstain for that? Yeah.
Is there a second for the first 5 nominees?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded for the first 5 nominees. We can talk about the other 2 when we're done. All those, any other discussion?
I have just a question on Roger Butta English's placement of signs. He lived on Second Street by Trinity Church, which is a block away from Main Street by the laundromat, where the laundromat was. Would it be acceptable to put the sign on Main Street rather than Second Street? That's about a half a block away. Is that an issue?
I will talk to Crystal and see where she envisions it.
Where she lives right now, she would actually be able to see it from her house.
Yeah.
But the Main Street would be more visible to the public. And part of what we're doing here is, to increase interest in the community and make the community more colorful. And
I get it.
yeah.
But I mean, I would like my sign out in front of my house.
Well, they can see it from her house.
Okay.
Yeah, it's-
We'll see what she says.
yeah, okay. Anyway, that would be agreeable to have it a block away, even though it's technically not the street they lived on. But
It might be fitting to have in front of, on Prospect Street, South Prospect, by the old Lincoln County Bank.
I thought of that corner too.
Would that be something?
yeah, again, the family probably would have first.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, a motion.
No more questions or remarks.
All right, motion made and seconded to approve the honorary street signs for Ralph Veda Voigt, Robert Grueling, Robert Klug, Roger Butta English, and Chuck Summers. All in favor signify so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion's approved. I'll make a motion to return the application and money to the person who applied for Edward and Diane Chartier with an explanation that they need to wait for the 5-year limit.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to return the very fitting and very appropriate request for Edward and Diane, but we have to wait. All those in favor signify so by saying aye.
Aye.
Yes, aye. Opposed, same sign. And I'll make a motion to hold over the James Sievert application until the May meeting.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded to hold over Sievert. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor signify so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Second, under general agenda items, update on historic home or building tour. I will look at and see if Nathan Meyer would like to join us. For those of you joining us remotely, Nathan Meyer is now strolling out to the podium. He is our 3rd district representative and is a valid employee of Merrill Productions.
Yeah, Merrill Community Media, Merrill Productions, whatever you want to call
There
it
we
at
go.
this point in time. There's no update at this time.
Okay.
We have we've been focusing a lot on our marketing stuff, and it's a busy time of the year at the school year, obviously with graduation coming just around the corner. So if anything, Steve, if we want to reach out to Hallie, I guess, and trying to see what she knows of that, because I know Hallie was doing a lot of that work, trying to get us in. But as far as I know right now, we've been more focused on our marketing stuff right now. So
And maybe
unfortunately,
you'll see if she's available for next month. And then also, it is our goal to, before we lose some of these people, that our previous street signs to do videos with those people who have ownership on those residents that were remarked.
Yep.
So we can do the video tour of that as well.
I would think probably the summertime, considering the summertime tends to slow down a little bit, and all that we have on our plate is city meetings for the most part, we might be able to help out with a lot of that stuff then.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll continue that on the agenda and invite Hallie. Third item is update on Normal Park and Legion building signs. Elizabeth McCrank. I went to our finance director and asked where we were budget-wise. There was about $3,700 in our account. Those signs, I believe, were going to cost like $1,200 a piece.
1,400 was the.
There you go.
price.
So I told her to go ahead and order them. And so I'm sure, and she immediately responded she would. So I'm sure when she joins us next, we'll have an update on where those signs are. But they're being printed at Premier, which where we did the other signs as well. That leaves us about Oh,
Nothing.
22. About $1,000 left in that, in our budget, $900.
900.
And that's enough to cover those historic street signs, because they cost about $60 a piece, I was told. And I could be wrong, but
Did you check with Premier on those too, if they could do something like that, or do you want to stay with?
I mean, I'm okay with what, I mean, I can check with them, but I'm okay with what, I'll do a comparison. The other one is Rent a Flash,
Right.
and they've been very appropriate.
Yeah, I agree, I just,
May I continue the discussion on the storyboards?
On those, on the Norwell Park and American Legion,
Others?
can't talk about others than on the agenda. You want to tell
Storyboard?
the, you want to tell the
Oh,
clerk about
storyboards.
what storyboards you want on next month?
Well, I did, last meeting I said that we are working on one for the Veterans Memorial,
Mhm.
but that will be privately funded.
Okay.
But they'll all be the same look. I guess next meeting on the agenda, I'd like to see other possible locations
Okay.
discussed.
All right. Establish date and time of next meeting, Wednesday, May 15th at 6 PM. Does anyone have a conflict with that?
Yes,
Okay, why is that?
school board meeting.
Oh,
at the
sure, your
same
first
time.
month in the job and also. School board meetings at the same time.
It starts at 5:30. It'll
Oh,
go till about probably 6:30 or so. So I don't know if we push it later, do it earlier, or just pick a different day that week, or
do you want to do Thursday or 7 PM? I'll let the,
Thursday would be the marketing meeting,
what, they're at 6?
We're at 5:15.
5:50.
What do you wrap, what are you usually,
We're wrapped up normally around 6:15, I'd say.
okay,
If you're lucky.
oh.
Come on, we've not been that bad.
What about Tuesday? That's common council probably.
No,
That'd be
yeah,
the
the
second.
14th. Yeah.
because it's the second Tuesday, you're looking at the third Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
No, May starts Wednesday,
Yeah.
the 1st. So it's the 7th and the 14th is the second Tuesday.
He's correct.
But I mean, if we don't have a cow, could we do it before the council meeting?
5:30?
Works for me.
5:30 on the 14th?
Does it work?
All right.
14th, 5:30, is that what I heard?
Yep.
Do you have 5 o'clock, just in case it goes long?
Oh, we're not going to go long.
council is gonna listen to
Oh, that's right, 5:30. Okay. Got it.
Of May.
Yep. You want her to send you a letter?
Yeah. No.
Any public comment to be made, present or on the phone? Second call for for public comment. And last call for public comment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor signify so by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, same sign. All right, we're off to a wonderful start for the next